Hi, I'm Dylan Richards. In New York, we have the United Nations and the best food from all over the world. Follow me as I search for the healthiest food in the 5 boroughs on Dylan's Lunchbox.
More crunch.
Very soon.
We're going to talk about the spices.
Juices of the oranges going to start to come out of it.
Flagship cheese.
Here's your burger.
Slide the opposite leg. I'm Tanya Sokobat for Dylan's Lunchbox.
And how you got into organic farming?
About American cuisine.
Who doesn't love Italian food? Chinese food is one of the oldest cuisines in the world.
We're here to find out what's in your lunchbox.
What's up, Lunchboxers? This week, I'm going to be exploring American cuisine. Sure, you might be thinking this episode is going to involve a lot of fried food and greasy snacks, but there are a lot of healthy options you might not expect. I'm going to get the skinny on more nutritious school lunches and visit Henry's, one of the most popular restaurants in New York City, where Chef Henry Reinhardt is going to show me how to eat right when eating American cuisine. So grab a fork and let's check out this episode of Dylan's Lunchbox.
FOODCORPS is a national nonprofit organization that works to connect kids to healthy food. We do this through a kind of Peace Corps type program. We recruit emerging leaders in the fields of food and agriculture and public health, and they spend a year of paid public service working with low-income, high obesity populations to connect kids to healthy food in school. The reality is that 1 in 3 kids is overweight or obese right now. 1 in 2 of our kids of color is on track to develop type 2 diabetes during their lifetimes. 1 in 8 New Yorkers has diabetes right now or is estimated to have type 2 diabetes. And we're already paying an incredible amount of our national treasure, $174 billion a year, to treat obesity-related and diabetes-related illnesses. And those statistics are only going to get worse if we continue on our present path of raising kids in a fast food nation. I believe schools are the key ingredient in getting kids connected to healthy food for a lifetime. Not only do we give kids the majority of their daily calories in many cases in school, but additionally we teach kids about what food culture is in our country by the way we treat school lunch. If we can give kids the knowledge, engagement, and access that connects them durably to healthy food, then I think we can transform the health of a generation. We serve 32 million kids school lunch every day in this country, and many of those kids are also getting school breakfast and after-school snack, which means kids are getting the majority of their daily calories from school. And the quality of that food we give them on their lunch trays matters tremendously. In terms of academic performance, we see a dramatic reduction in absenteeism. In some studies, kids are 15% more likely to show up in school if they're getting a school breakfast, for instance. Kids who are eating healthy, high-quality school lunches outperform their colleagues in terms of tests and ability to advance to the next grade level by as much as 8%. Kids need a chance to get their hands in the dirt and grow and touch and taste healthy food that comes out of a school garden. So we do school garden projects that we see as gateways for kids and parents. Kids also need access. They need a chance to eat every single day the healthy, high-quality meals they've learned about. So that's why we work with local farmers and chefs to transform school meals into beacons for health. FOODCORPS has service members across the country in 10 different states currently, and they're making a tremendous impact. There are 50 people in our first class, but they've already reached more than 50,000 children. They've built or revitalized 400 school and community gardens. They've recruited almost 2,000 local volunteers from the communities they serve to help get kids excited about healthy food. Our goal is to be in all 50 states by the end of the decade. Right now we're raising kids in essentially a fast food nation, a place where salt and fat and sugar are all around us. And if we raise kids on a diet rich in those things, they're going to grow up to be less healthy. They're going to be at risk of obesity and diabetes, but they're also going to be, in the near term, less able to perform academically, and over the long term, less able to contribute economically to our nation. The reality is this problem is too big, it's too significant to be fixed by any one player alone. We really have to do this together. We're seeing a tremendous change take root in our food system right now. I think it's coming from all levels. There's great leadership at the federal level in Washington, coming from the White House and Congress and the USDA, where people in both parties have really made food a priority, for good reason. The U.S. military is concerned that we're not going to have enough soldiers to put in the field anymore because recruits are just too fat to fight. There was an amazing study out from a group of 4-star retired generals who said the obesity epidemic is a national security concern. The reality is there's not one corporation you can blame for our current food system, not one government program you could blame for our current food system, and even not one single consumer choice you could blame for it. But all of us have had a hand in creating a food system that, at the end of the day, is making us sick. And all of us have a responsibility to help get out of that problem. The school lunch program is the kind of 300-pound gorilla in the challenge of how do you get kids healthy in this country. The good news is the school lunch program is improving, and the gorilla is now down to about 250 pounds due to diet and exercise. Because the reality is the school lunch program is at once the greatest gift we can give to children across the country, to guarantee that no kid is going to be hungry when they're in school. But at the same time, it comes with a real responsibility. We have to make sure that the food we're giving those kids in the school meal program is making them healthy. There's a wave of amazing solutions unfolding across the country right now in terms of healthy school food. Most of them relate to those 3 components that we focus on in our work at FOODCORPS. Teaching kids about what healthy food is and where it comes from, giving them hands-on opportunities to grow and touch and taste high-quality food in school gardens, and then working with school food service staff to actually change what's being served in school meals. People young and old have really decided that food matters. This thing that we have kind of ignored for the last 50 years is, at the end of the day, as fundamental as it gets. And we've seen a generation of young people become passionate about becoming farmers themselves, learning how to cook themselves, and really take food back as something that we all can have a say in making it better.
I'm with Amanda from Amanda Russell TV at Pedal NYC, where she's going to be teaching us some new moves.
Yes. So right now we're going to do one that's fun. You can remember the name. It's called
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. You're a superhero villain. So what we're going to do is get into top of a push-up position. We're going to really get deep into your core, your obliques here. So you try to keep your back nice and tight, and you're going to take your left knee to your left tricep or elbow, and right knee, right elbow, and then you can sort of bring it up to pace. So you're really feeling that oblique side crunch here. Your arms are working, your core is working to keep you strong. So we're gonna go for 4 more, 3, and 2, and 1, and release. Take a break, you're gonna really feel that in the core.
Right.
The more you do it, the easier it gets. So the key is to keep coming back to it. And right now we are going to do oblique runners. Unless Dylan can find a better name for them, that's what they are.
It's going to be oblique runners.
Okay, no creativity here. So you're gonna get into top of push-up position, and basically in slow motion, you take your opposite knee to your opposite elbow. So one knee to opposite elbow. So it's that, there you go. And kind of really use that core, you feel the twist. And then if you want to do more advanced and add some cardio, we're gonna add a run to it. So really touch knee to opposite elbow. And time yourself, 20 to 30 seconds. You should get pretty breathless by the end. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release.
That's a good workout.
Yeah. Heart rate up?
Yep.
Nice job.
American cuisine. You might have thought of it as too hot to touch apple pie cooling in your grandma's window, or maybe a $5 hot dog at the ballpark, or a sizzling greasy cheeseburger on the griddle. But if you know where to look, and you don't have to look hard, you'll find that there's much more to the American cuisine than these dyed-in-the-wool classics. In fact, even most foreign cuisine found in America has been influenced by the journey across borders and adapted because of necessity or local taste. In turn, even the most basic of American treats are based on food our immigrant ancestors dined upon. Those hamburgers and hot dogs you cook up for the 4th of July have their roots in Germany. And it sounds silly, but there may have been no apple pie if there were no meat pie first.
City Harvest is the world's oldest food rescue organization. 30 years ago, a group of volunteers got together and decided to go to local restaurants and pick up the food that would otherwise go to waste and give it to food pantries and soup kitchens. Over the years, that ideal has evolved, and so today we pick up food from farms, corporate cafeterias, manufacturers, all food that would otherwise go to waste, and we deliver it to food pantries and soup kitchens, about 40 million pounds of food annually. On an annual basis, we help feed 1.6 million New Yorkers. And given the economic climate, given the number of people where food is often a luxury, it ensures that people are able to buy their kids' clothing and pay the rent because they don't have to sometimes worry about the added expense of food. Many people don't have access to fresh produce, not only because of location, but also because of affordability. So part of what City Harvest does is we provide that fresh produce to our food pantries, and so people can get the food that they cannot get from the supermarket either because it's too far or because they just don't have the funds. Farms are a very big provider of the food that we receive, restaurants, corporate cafeterias, manufacturers. So for instance, for a manufacturer, if they put the label on upside down, they can't sell it, but it's still palatable and very good food, so they can give it to us. Healthy food isn't really about combating poverty. I think if we look at just our country in general, the amount of obesity and diet-related diseases that are on the rise, it's important for everyone to eat healthy at this point. In a lot of these lower income communities where poverty is an issue, we do see higher rates of these problems. Very often, fresh fruit juice is $4, but you can get 5 2-liter sodas for $4. So very often that's the choice people have to make. But it can often go beyond that in terms of just education and people not understanding how to purchase healthy foods, how to make healthy foods. We understand that people aren't aware of all of their different options. People aren't aware, people are very used to eating certain foods, and so a big part of being healthy is discovering new things, learning new ways of cooking, learning new ways of preparing, and so we really have an emphasis on education and going into neighborhoods and providing resources for people outside of just the food we deliver. We have 18 trucks that are on the road, and we pick up the food, we bring it either, sometimes depending on what it is, it may go to our food rescue facility. If it's something that can be held, and we'll store it. If it's something, for instance, a lot of times fresh produce needs to go out right away. It will go straight from, say, a farm to a wonderful place like this Bed-Stuy Campaign Against Hunger. What they really use this garden for is a teaching tool to teach people about the food, because unfortunately it's not for the problem that exists in Bed-Stuy. They cannot grow enough food for them, but it's meant to be supplemental to the educational work that they do. As City Harvest has grown, we've definitely tried to move towards a place where we want to provide people with education and with tools. So City Harvest is now not just about dropping off pounds of food, but also about providing education, providing tools. So we have programs like we have a fruit bowl program, which is designed to start with the very young and teach them about healthy eating. We can also make sure that people are healthy enough to work, that they're healthy enough to provide food for their families on their own. I'd like to see us be able to provide nutrition education for a larger amount of people. I'd like to see people really understanding healthy foods and maybe even having more access to it outside of City Harvest. One of the most impactful moments for me was we give out turkeys during the holidays, and I was at a program doing what we call site visits, where we go and make sure everything is okay, and I had a client actually come up to me and say, "You provided my holiday meal." And it made the difference, because if you hadn't provided this holiday meal, I wouldn't have been able to start saving money for my kids' Christmas gifts. It was one of those moments where what we do is it hits you in the face in terms of we help feed people and we help families to be families.
I'm back in Central Park with Gwen Lawrence. What are we doing?
Today, we're gonna do Heroes Toes Tucked. So last time we did toes untucked, this time a little bit different, very different muscle group. You're gonna come to kneeling, make sure the knees are in line with each other, tuck the toes under, and you're gonna kind of bring your hands around and make sure your heels are straight up to the sky. So you don't want your heels to drop out or in, that could strain the knee. You're gonna put all your weight back and see how that feels. Pretty easy for you? Believe it or not, it's excruciating for some people to sit back here. Right. So you want to do the best you can. This opens up Achilles tendon, the calf, and the bottom of the foot. So some people get foot cramps or knifing arch pain. It also helps to stop the development of bunions, which you don't have to worry about yet. But you're going to sit here 1 to 3 minutes. Also going to help with your speed and agility on the field. If you have any knee problems, you might want to check with your doctor before you do this. But other than that, 1 to 3 minutes, a great addition to your yoga routine.
If any food can be described as more American than most, the soul and comfort food of the southern United States may claim that right. Dishes like fried chicken, okra, barbecue, and macaroni and cheese were either created or made popular in the South. And while they're usually not everyday foods, they can definitely be a delicious occasional treat. But there are still some healthy options. Crawfish and catfish, popular in Louisiana, can sometimes be used instead of red meat. Or if you're cooking at home, try cutting back on butter, using less sugar, and grill or pan sear instead of fry.
Hi, my name is Sari Safa, reporting live on the streets of New York during lunch hour. We're here to find out what's in your lunchbox. What are you ordering here at this food truck?
Iced coffee.
Did you have anything else for lunch today?
I did.
What did you order?
Salad.
Why did you choose to order from there and order a salad from there?
It was a work lunch, so I had to go.
Do you ever pack your own lunch?
I don't, actually.
Why is that?
Just not that organized at home.
If it were more convenient, would you pack lunch?
Definitely.
And for what reason would you prefer packing lunch?
You know what you're eating, you save a little money.
All right, thank you very much. What did you order for lunch today?
I didn't. I'm just waiting for the friend.
Do you plan on eating lunch today?
Yeah, I've got a salad in my bag.
Did you bring that from home?
Yep.
Why did you make the choice to bring lunch from home instead of ordering something?
It's a little healthier, and it's easier for me.
Can you explain why it's healthier?
Because I choose what I put in my salad rather than figure out what's in processed food or other choices. It's very tempting around here to eat other stuff.
And do you ever order from food trucks or any outside source?
Yes, I do, all the time.
All right, thank you very much for speaking with us. So there you have it. We found out today what people are eating in the streets of New York. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Watch out, next we might ask you what's in your lunchbox.
Cashews are a snack with many beneficial qualities that will keep you healthy, satisfied, and energized. They are also easy to carry with you throughout your day. Cashews can help relieve depression and stress by boosting your tryptophan levels, which will keep you more mellow. Cashews also contain a variety of vitamins and minerals such as potassium, phosphorus, calcium, magnesium, iron, sodium, manganese, zinc, copper, selenium, folate, and vitamin K. They are also linked to weight loss and heart health. To obtain the full health benefits of cashews, make sure you buy them raw and unsalted. It is easy to see why everyone is nuts about cashews. When you think American food, what comes to your mind? Hamburgers, steak, fried chicken? You probably think of a lot of very delicious but unhealthy options. That's not what Henry Reinhardt thinks. He's the owner and creator of Henry's on the Upper West Side, and his restaurant prides itself on healthy American cuisine, using only the freshest local ingredients. So let's go inside and see what we have in store for today. So it's hard to say what exactly American cuisine is. Some people picture it as hamburgers, hot dogs, mac and cheese, fried chicken. Are there any healthy options out there?
Yes, definitely. American cuisine is moving away from processed foods, hamburgers, hot dogs, and moving towards more seasonal and local.
So how do you attempt to stay local?
That is really a product of chef working with his vendors and his farmers so that he consistently buys food that is seasonal and local, and then we write the menu around that.
Do you find that your customers come just because your food tastes good, or is it also because there are the healthy options behind it?
I think really people come because it's great service, it's a nice ambiance, it's an exciting, buzzy New York City restaurant with a full bar service. We're the only all-American wine list in New York.
So can we go into the kitchen and cook some food?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
Chef. Dylan.
Dylan, hello.
Nice to meet you.
First thing you gotta do is put your jacket on and come in the
Yep.
kitchen. Cook some mussels today. These mussels are from Prince Edward Island, which is very close to the East Coast where we're living.
Local?
Staying local, absolutely. Well, the mussels, we're going to steam them open.
Okay.
So you want it to high heat because you need it above boiling. So 212 degrees is boiling. You need that high heat to steam the mussels open. So the first thing we're going to do, though, we're going to take a pan. We're going to put a little bit of oil in it.
What type of oil?
This is a canola oil. First, what I want you to do is put in some jalapeno pepper. Put in about half that garlic.
Half garlic.
Stir that around a little bit in the oil. I'm going to put a little salt on that way too to help draw out the moisture of the things. Give it a little flip if you can. Just want to lightly saute these.
Right.
So at this point, pick up some mussels. You grab like a large two handfuls. Okay, can I get that going? And leave it on here. See, it's going very hot now.
Right.
I'm going to take this as vegetable stock
Okay.
that we make out of onions, carrots, celery,
You
a
make
lot
it
of
here?
herbs. We make it ourselves here in house. Do you see how hot that is?
Yep, sizzling.
It says that once it's hot, you want to steam it open, so then you cover it. And now we're going to wait about a minute.
A minute? That's
Halfway through the steaming process, we're going to add some things to it, right?
it? Okay. So it's a quick process.
It's a very quick process. That's the thing about mussels. When you're cooking mussels, you have to cook them alive. When we're putting them in here, they're actually alive. They're live creatures. So you have to make sure you have a tightly closed mussel shell
Okay.
that seems kind of heavy in weight. And that means that they're alive and they're ready to be cooked. I want you to scoop one little of that tomato sauce right in there. Okay, just a little bit of salt for flavor.
This is not your stereotypical American cuisine.
I spent a lot of time, about 2 years in Italy, working in cooking and
Right.
studying. So I try to take local American ingredients
Right.
and kind of cook them in the Italian idiom, which to me is just taking very great ingredients and messing with them a little bit and making them something unique. And now at this point, whenever you're a cook, I would suggest to taste your broth so you can make sure you're putting the right thing in. So just tweak a little bit, make sure you blow on it. Taste your broth. So it's salty,
Very
a little
good.
spicy. Very good. On the grill here, we have a piece of bread that's been grilling. This is going to be served with the mussels because all that broth we just made, you need something to soak it up in, right? And I'm going to take a piece of whole garlic. Whole.
Okay.
Okay, and just rub it. This is how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just to cover one side of it. And that small amount of raw garlic will really impart more flavor than you think. And then this goes right in your bowl. And that is the PEI mussels that we serve here at Henry's.
That's some good mussels.
Yeah.
But this really isn't your typical American cuisine.
American food is changing all the time because we're an immigrant culture, and all chefs, when you ask them what do they want to cook, vast majority of them say I want to cook American cuisine because they can cook with any ingredient. This is the tagliolini I wanted you to try.
Okay.
This is wild mushrooms. Tagliolini like a thin spaghetti.
Right.
Isn't that great?
Tremendous, wow.
House-made lemonade with a little guava juice. We call this a square meal.
Okay.
What you have is a 4-course meal all on one plate. So you have a soup, a salad, half a sandwich, and a dessert.
Great.
Today we have a butternut squash soup, and you also have a kale salad. This is a vegetable sandwich. It's all marinated grilled vegetables. and our famous chocolate cake. Over here we have our mezza plate, a Middle Eastern appetizer plate, which is hummus, quinoa salad, a carrot salad, a beet tartare, and a cucumber yogurt with some black olives.
It's going to be fun to try.
Yes, enjoy.
Wow.
Nothing like a little chocolate, right?
Even after all these years, it's no wonder why Henry's is one of the most popular American restaurants in the city. Their amazing food has given me a whole new perspective on American cuisine. Next time you're in the neighborhood, don't forget to check it out and enjoy your meal. Thanks for joining us this week. I hope we have shown you just how awesome American food can be if you make the right choices, make healthy versions of your favorite dishes, and where to get a great meal. Check out these sites for information, tips, and more. And don't forget to check out the next episode of Dylan's Lunchbox.